In simple terms, the job of the engineering division is to build things. And one of the things they build the most of is boat ramps.
I have two crews. One crew is a three-man crew, and they do new construction. And the other crew is also a three-man crew, but they're broken up into dam maintenance, ramp maintenance, and some new construction.
These two crews conduct about 40 feasibility studies per year and wind up building 12 new boat ramps annually. But before a boat ramp can be built, a few things need to be ironed out.
Before the ramp can really go any other length, we have to work out an agreement with the county or city. What that agreement basically does is saying that the department will build a concrete ramp and gravel parking area for the community if the city or county will agree to keep it clean as far as picking up the trash, mowing the grass, making sure that the ramp is clean of debris such as mud, sticks, or whatever to make it where the public can use it. As far as the county, the landowner goes, we'll enter into a 25-year lease. What we do, we build the ramp and at no cost to the landowner. And the department will maintain that ramp for a period of 25 years free of charge. In other words, we don't charge anybody for reconstructing the ramp if it should happen to need maintenance, like fall apart or whatever. The landowner leases to the department free of charge, and the lease is, like I said, for 25 years and has an option. And they're, like, if they decide to sell, they can give the state first refusal rights, or at the end of 25 years, they can renew on a year-to-year basis.
First, the engineer assigned to the project, in this case Mike Huff, meets with the landowners to discuss the proposed site. And then the surveying begins.
What we're doing now is setting a reference point to where we can come back at a later time and pick up and start over. If the ramp is approved for construction and all the details worked out, the construction crew have a place to start from instead of coming out and starting just kind of a blind area.
This involves a lot of stake driving, a lot of walking, and even some weed whacking. But once all the stakes are in place, it's time then to take shots.
A shot is when your rodman takes the rod and holds it over a certain point. That's a shot. The instrument does the reading, and then you write in the figures. And once you put it back into the computer, it tells you the exact point on the plat that you're going to be using.
Each shot is taken by the gun, or that big yellow thing you see there.
It's an EDM, it's an electronic distance measuring machine. It actually shoots a laser into a glass prism that's mirrored on the back. It's got several apertures. One reads a horizontal angle and the other one reads a vertical angle. And when you flip the on switch, it emits a laser light into a prism. And that laser bounces back to the gun and it calculates the time that it takes to get to the prism and back and gives me an actual distance.
Now these measurements must take into account everything that will be on the site, including the access road and the parking area. This means the rod man has to get pretty far away sometimes.
Henry, where are you, bud? What we're doing with the boat is putting it in the water to find out what the bottom portion of the river is like. In doing that, we can tell what percent slope we want to put the ramp on. And generally, we'll try to put a ramp on a slope of about 12 to 18%. In other words, a 12-foot fall and 100 feet. We went out about 40 feet and the water's staying around 6.5 to 7 feet deep. So it should give us a pretty good slope, and we'll know more about it once we finish taking some more soundings and elevations.
Once a project is approved, then of course construction is ready to begin. You know, I've always wondered how they get that concrete to set up when it's in the water.
What we do, we set our grade, and then we pour a push-in slab, which is just a slab that's actually poured on the ground above the water. That sits for about a week, and after that week we wreck the forms and you place a dozer at the upper end of it, and then push it and stop at the low water mark.
So that's how they do that. Projects take about a year and a half from inception to completion and are funded in part by the Wallet Bro program, which is a federal tax on fishing-related items.
As a department, we use that money, which is 75% federally funded, and then we use 25% of the state's matching funds.
Sometimes the department builds a ramp where an old ramp used to be, but not always does the new ramp go in the same place.
Okay, when the department bought this piece of property here at Lockport, the old ramp was facing actually out into the Kentucky River. And we felt as a safety item we would change the ramp and put it back up into the creek. In case a fisherman or a boater has trouble getting their boat started, at least they wouldn't be floating down towards the dam.
Mike Huff's job requires him to travel about 50% of the time, but he says he enjoys traveling. He gets to meet new people and see parts of the state he might not otherwise get a chance to see. Besides, to him, it's all in a day's work.
Pretty good. Y'all smile.
Hold on, wait a minute, wait. You done got me heavy. Somebody should have just a clean job when I started. So I can see, I'll talk to you probably sometime next week. I'll let you know what I came up with. And on how deep the water is at X number of feet out. And with this, we can computer, yeah, let me start over. Oh, you would do this, wouldn't you?
This is the sound of Mike's hungry stomach.
I have another crew they do. Yeah.